Have you ever wondered how a hydrogen fuel cell works? Well, you're about to find out. Hydrogen fuel cells, the silent powerhouses, are devices that convert chemical potential energy into electrical energy. Imagine a world where cars emit nothing but water vapor and electricity is produced with zero greenhouse gases. Sounds like a dream, right? But it's not. That's the potential of hydrogen fuel cells. These are not just science fiction, but a reality that's shaping our world. They're playing a pivotal role in the energy sector, powering everything from vehicles to spacecraft and even homes. The beauty of hydrogen fuel cells lies in their simplicity and sustainability. They use hydrogen, the most abundant element in the universe, and oxygen from the air we breathe to generate electricity. Their only byproduct? Pure water. This technology has the potential to revolutionize our energy landscape, but how exactly does it work? So let's delve into the fascinating world of hydrogen fuel cells. The science behind hydrogen fuel cells is surprisingly simple. Let's break it down. At its core, a hydrogen fuel cell is a device that converts chemical potential energy into electrical energy. But how does it do this? Well, it all begins with hydrogen. As the most abundant element in the universe, hydrogen is an ideal candidate for this process. Within a fuel cell, hydrogen gas is introduced on one side, the anode of the cell. Meanwhile, on the other side, the cathode, oxygen gas is introduced. Now here's where the magic happens. On the anode side, the hydrogen molecules are broken down into their constituent protons and electrons. This process is facilitated by a catalyst, typically made of platinum. The protons then pass through a proton exchange membrane, a thin material that acts as a bridge between the anode and cathode. At the same time, the electrons are forced to take a longer route, creating an electrical circuit. Over on the cathode side, oxygen is waiting. The oxygen molecules combine with the protons and the electrons that have completed their journey, forming water. This is the only byproduct of the reaction in the fuel cell, making it an incredibly clean source of energy. So let's recap. Hydrogen is split into protons and electrons. The protons pass through the membrane, while the electrons create an electrical circuit. On the other side, the protons, electrons, and oxygen combine to form water, and during this entire process, electricity is generated. This is a continuous process with hydrogen constantly being fed into the anode side and oxygen into the cathode side. As long as there is a supply of hydrogen and oxygen, the fuel cell can continue to produce electricity. In essence, it's all about the interaction between hydrogen, oxygen, and a catalyst. Now that we understand the basic science, let's look at how a hydrogen fuel cell functions. To begin, imagine yourself at the microscopic level, right inside a fuel cell. Your journey starts with the intake of hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen, usually stored in a tank, is fed into the anode side of the fuel cell. Oxygen, on the other hand, is taken from the air around us and introduced into the cathode side. Next up, the catalyst. Acting like an enthusiastic matchmaker, the catalyst at the anode encourages the hydrogen molecules to split into protons and electrons. The catalyst is typically made of platinum, due to its exceptional ability to facilitate this process. Now, we have a divide. The protons, positively charged, take the direct route and pass through a proton exchange membrane, heading straight for the cathode. The electrons, however, are directed down a different path. They're sent through an external circuit, creating a flow of electricity that can be used to power anything from a light bulb to a car. As the electrons complete their journey, they reach the cathode. Here, another catalyst encourages them to reunite with the protons and the incoming oxygen. This reunion results in the production of water, which exits the fuel cell, and heat, which can also be harnessed for energy. So, while the process might sound complex, it's essentially a cleverly organized molecular dance. Hydrogen and oxygen enter, they're split and shuffled around, and in the process we get electricity, water, and heat. It's a clean and efficient process, utilizing abundant elements and producing only benign byproducts. Of course, this is a simplified version of what happens. There are many types and variations of hydrogen fuel cells, each with their own unique characteristics and applications. But the fundamental process, the core principle of harnessing the power of hydrogen and oxygen to produce energy, is the same. In a nutshell, that's how a hydrogen fuel cell works. So, why should we care about hydrogen fuel cells? Well, the answer lies in the powerful potential they hold. Hydrogen fuel cells, as we've learned, generate power through a chemical reaction between hydrogen and oxygen. This process produces energy, with the only byproduct being water. Yes, that's right, water. This makes hydrogen fuel cells an incredibly clean source of energy, promising a significant reduction in harmful carbon emissions. Imagine a world where our vehicles and industries are powered by hydrogen fuel cells. The air would be cleaner, our carbon footprint drastically reduced, and the devastating effects of climate change potentially mitigated. This is the environmental impact that hydrogen fuel cells could have, providing us with a greener and more sustainable future. But the potential extends beyond environmental benefits. Hydrogen fuel cells also offer the prospect of greater energy efficiency. Traditional combustion engines, for instance, only convert about 25% of their fuel into usable energy. In contrast, hydrogen fuel cells can convert as much as 60%. This efficiency could mean significant savings in energy costs, shaking up the energy market and driving innovation. Furthermore, hydrogen fuel cells could play a pivotal role in the future of renewable energy. Hydrogen, the primary fuel source, is the most abundant element in the universe and can be produced from a variety of sources, including renewable ones like wind and solar power. This versatility makes hydrogen fuel cells a key player in the renewable energy landscape. In a world increasingly aware of the need for sustainable and efficient energy solutions, hydrogen fuel cells offer a beacon of hope. They represent a shift from an economy dependent on fossil fuels to one that embraces renewable energy sources, paving the way for a future where we live in harmony with our planet. The potential of hydrogen fuel cells is truly awe-inspiring. But of course, every silver lining has a cloud. As promising as hydrogen fuel cells may appear, they do have their share of challenges. One of the major obstacles is the production of hydrogen itself. Currently, most of the hydrogen we use is produced from natural gas in a process known as steam reforming. While this method is efficient, it is not exactly green, as it releases carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Another challenge is the storage and distribution of hydrogen. Being the lightest element in the universe, hydrogen has a low energy density by volume, which means it requires a lot of space for storage. It also needs to be kept under high pressure or at very low temperatures, making it a complicated substance to handle and transport. Moreover, there's the issue of cost. Right now, hydrogen fuel cells and the infrastructure needed to support them are quite pricey. This is largely due to the fact that fuel cells use platinum as a catalyst, which is a rare and expensive metal. The high cost of hydrogen fuel cells and the infrastructure needed to support them have been significant barriers to their widespread adoption. However, it's not all gloom and doom. There are exciting advancements being made in the field every day. Researchers are exploring new methods of producing hydrogen in a more sustainable manner, such as through the use of solar power or even algae. Innovations in nanotechnology could potentially reduce the amount of platinum needed in fuel cells, thereby lowering their cost. Furthermore, governments and corporations worldwide are investing heavily in this technology, recognizing its potential to revolutionize our energy systems. For instance, Japan has set a goal to become a hydrogen society by 2050, with hydrogen fuel cells playing a major role in their energy infrastructure. Despite these challenges, the future of hydrogen fuel cells looks promising. The hurdles are substantial, but so too are the rewards. As we continue to innovate and invest in this technology, we may soon find ourselves living in a world powered by the most abundant element in the universe: hydrogen. Despite the challenges, the future of hydrogen fuel cells looks promising. In a world where sustainability is key, hydrogen fuel cells offer a glimmer of hope. Throughout this exploration, we've delved into the complex science behind these cells, how they operate, and their potential to change the world. From the basics of hydrogen and oxygen reactions, we've seen how a hydrogen fuel cell functions, generating electricity with water as its only byproduct. We've discussed their potential as an alternative energy source, and how they can drastically reduce our carbon footprint. But like any innovation, hydrogen fuel cells face challenges, including efficiency, cost, and infrastructure issues. Yet, scientists and engineers continue to push boundaries, making strides towards overcoming these obstacles. The future of hydrogen fuel cells is promising. Their potential to revolutionize our energy systems is immense. As we grapple with the realities of climate change, they could very well be a critical part of the solution. As we strive for a greener future, hydrogen fuel cells.
Please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.